Just leave it like this. Yo, what's going on, IG? We are live right now. We are tapping in. Hello from Minnesota. As you guys know, maybe you don't know who we are. My name is Anthony.
And I am Janoka. So pleasure to meet everyone if we haven't met already. We are the owners and coaches of Clean Business University. And you guys are here to hear a story about one of our students that hit 200K in 15 months.
Yes.
Oh, should we intro for the podcast?
We can add that. We can add that after. We'll add that after.
So, yeah, that's what we're here for today.
That's fine. So, as you guys are joining, we definitely want to know what city and state you are tapping in from. As always, there we go. Hello from New York City, Michigan, Massachusetts.
What, you have a list with Massachusetts?
Massachusetts.
Why are you saying it like that? I've never heard this in my life.
I don't say it often. It's not like something I always say.
That's hilarious.
That's just one of those challenges. It's like a New York thing. I don't know.
No one knew you had a challenge about it. That's the point. That's the thing.
So hello from Atlanta. So appreciate you guys tapping in, man. So we're going to bring in Talani. We ran into him at InvestFest a couple of months ago, and he had an amazing story. And obviously the question was, why didn't we know this story? So we
should intro ourselves. We just stopped. We didn't say the full thing. Like the full thing of who we are, and then because some people may be new.
Feel free. Feel free. I'm ready to jump in. You already know.
No, we're gonna jump in, but we said, we didn't say this. We're from Brooklyn, New York. We live in Dallas, Texas. We started our cleaning business 6 years ago in Dallas, Texas, and we still own it currently. But we started teaching students 3 years ago of how to get their business up and running, to own it and have it up and running. Our students have gone to make over $10 million in revenue. They are in 42 plus states. So that question that you have of if it can work for you, it can.
Absolutely.
They're in 42 plus states and they are killing it. So Talani is just one of our students that are just one. Like I said, we have many that are doing amazing right now, doing better than we did, which is what we want for our students. So I just wanted to kind of, if anybody's new here, they may be like, I don't know. That's who we are. And so we're going to bring on our student.
Cool. Talani, we're going to bring you to the stage. And as Talani's coming in, make sure y'all like the video. Make sure y'all subscribe to the YouTube channel and show Talani some love. Say what's up in the comments. Talani, what's going on?
What's going on, guys? What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing?
Good. Where can you see the comments? Yeah, I guess you can. We are good over here. I know it's a little late on the East Coast, so thank you for being with us.
Yes. So Talani, let's get a little bit into your story, man. So obviously the backstory was we ran into you at InvestFest, and you just started telling us what happened to your what you've done so far. Just give the people a recap of that conversation and how we ended up here.
Yeah. You know, met you guys at InvestFest, and I started the business back in 2022. You know, been following you guys for a little bit, and then was able to come across your stuff on the Social Proof podcast, and then, you know, I actually had an experience with cleaning. You know, me and my family moved into the house we're in now back in 2021, and we were looking for a cleaner, and so I just remember that experience because it was kind of tough to find a cleaner. So, you know, I saw you guys stuff on Twitter, on Instagram, and I had been doing the entrepreneurship thing for a minute. I actually have a couple different ventures. I do real estate with a couple guys, and real estate, while it's great, it is kind of a long-term thing. And I just wanted to, you know, kind of go after kind of that American dream, right? You know, build wealth for my family. So came across you guys. You can do cleaning without actually cleaning houses yourselves. And I checked it out and saw you guys had a course. I was like, well, if they can do it, I could do it too. So bought the course and was able to take the course in about a month. And then I was able to launch my business, I want to say in May of last year. And then we've been ripping and running since then.
You say we, are you doing it by yourself or are you doing it with someone else?
So I mainly do it. You know, it's kind of a fun story. I told my wife, hey, I want to start this thing.
Usually how it is.
Yeah. So I've always been kind of the big dreamer, kind of going after, big goals and just kind of thinking about what I want for me and my family. And I just started this thing, and kind of the way I operate is let me actually make this thing make sense and make it work before I say it, because I think a lot of us are like that, right? We want to have the success. We want people to know that we've done it. But I told her, we made a couple $1,000s in our first month. And then I was like, this thing is actually working. Then, as with anything, if you stay consistent and you work hard, there's a lot of ups and downs. You go through it, you'll grow. So my wife has been, holding me down, supporting me. There's been instances where we had to go do cleanings as much as we didn't want to, and she was right there by my side. So she's definitely been a supporter of me and everything that I've done, and kind of pushing me to kind of pursue my dream. So without her, I wouldn't be here, because I always know that I have her support in everything that I do.
Shout out to wifey for pushing you and agreeing to let you do the cleaning business.
Yeah.
I know how it is with that.
Yeah.
So you was gonna say that? Oh no. So you got the course. It took you a month to launch, you said, or a month and a half to get started?
Yeah, so I saw you guys on Social Proof, I want to say in March of last year.
Yeah,
And
that was
like
March, April.
I was familiar with you guys, so it just goes to show that you never know who's watching. So I'm taking those tips as I kind of want to share my story with people. But I was like, let me check these guys out for real, because like they out here talking about all these numbers and they not cleaning, and you guys got the ads on lock. I was like, how they out here not cleaning, but they doing these kind of numbers? So I was like, let me get this course. I did the course. And anytime I purchase something, I'm like, well, I'm not gonna just let it sit there. I definitely done that, like with like the courses that were like $20, $30. And like you guys' course is not cheap. So obviously I bought the course, and I took the time, and I went through it. It was, very well structured. And then I just kind of went from there, launched a business. I did it scared. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I've never done this. But now I kind of feel like it's not easy, but like I'm kind of like, I'm glad I took that, because now like I've ventured into so many different things. I could definitely share more about that. Once you start a business, you're always thinking about business, new businesses, adjacent businesses. So I have all kinds of things that I'm doing now, but I'm glad I kind of did it scared. And I know you guys say sometimes you just got to jump out there. Everything's not going to be perfect. You just got to do it. So I just did it. And now look at us in 2023.
That's great. And at what month would you say that it kind of clicked for you that this is going to work? Was it month one, or what did it take for you to realize, okay, I can scale this thing?
It was probably towards the end of last year, because I would say the first 6 to 8 months was kind of up and down. And I know we'll talk about it, but the biggest challenge was finding cleaners. That's number one.
Believe us, or do you believe us?
Yeah, that was number one. So like the first couple months I was doing well, I was going up, but then I didn't do a good job at recruiting cleaners. So I actually had to take a step back, where I turned off my ads. I was like, hey, I need to find really good cleaners. I was just excited. I would talk to somebody for 20 minutes. All right, come on, let's go.
Like we hiring you.
But it's more detailed than that. And now, like, not to toot my own horn, like I feel pretty confident about my process. I onboarded a cleaner yesterday. She did a job, and the customer gave an amazing feedback. And this is from the process I implemented and finding cleaners. But yeah, a lot of ups and downs. But it wasn't until the end of the year I was like, you know what? I've gotten this far. I've had so many ups and downs, just kind of struggling. I had moments where I was like, should I keep doing this? But I said, you know what? I'm doing this for the future. I'm not doing this for the now, because, luckily I have an amazing daytime job that I love. I love my job. I do really good work, and I get paid very well from that job. So I knew that this was more of an investment. Then like I need this business to like make income for me.
What do you do full time? What's your full time job?
So yeah, I'm a senior technical project manager. I work for I work for a defense and aerospace contractor, so I've been there for several years. So I'm mostly in like the engineering, software development, data platform type environment. So I manage data platform projects, really cool stuff that I'm doing at my job.
In regards to the cleaning business, have you spoken about this at work or to anybody outside the friends and family circle?
No. I mean, I know, I share, the real estate that I do, but I don't talk too much about, what I do with this business, because here's my thing. I want to keep my main thing, and my job is kind of like what pays the bills. It allows me actually to invest in the cleaning business. So my number one thing is I want to build the business, but I don't want to take my eye off of my main job, which is kind of taking care of me and my family. And I'm glad to say I do great work. I do get great feedback from my management, from my team members, and I really do enjoy the work that I do in my day job.
Okay. So you mentioned some up and down, like the first 8 months. Was that primarily just the contractors, or were there more challenges that you were facing?
It was primarily the contractors.
Okay.
Well, contractors and processes, and I'm sure we'll get more into that. But number one, contractors. I want to say it was August, where I kind of realized that I needed to take a step back to move forward. I also brought on a VA. I don't know.
What happened in August?
August. I had a couple jobs where we didn't get great feedback, and actually we couldn't fulfill jobs. I was getting calls, our phone was ringing, but I was trying to maneuver the schedule to make sure we could, match our cleaners with the schedule. But like one thing I've learned is like if a customer calls and they want a cleaning on a day, we now have a policy where we're trying to fulfill the date and time to the best of our ability of the customer. So when I kind of realized that I'm kind of doing this backwards, I said I need to take a step back. So I kind of use August, September to shore up my processes. I brought on a VA. I call them remote team members. But yeah, so that was kind of the time frame where I sat down and said, if I really want to make this thing grow, I got to really, put in the work to make it work the way it needs to work.
Okay, so 4 months in, and then you brought the VA in, and is the person still working with you now?
No. So that VA was with me, and actually she was our sales manager. She was with us for a year, but she decided to take some time off, and she was so good that I told her, if she ever wants to come back, I'll definitely have a place for her. But now I have 2 team members that work with me. They do amazing work. It's a lot of work, right? Training, but I've set up videos, processes. I have like I'm really big on that because in my job, I'm a project manager. So I do operations. So
makes sense.
I have a whole kind of detailed thing that I use. I utilize Notion to kind of hold all of our SOPs. So that's how I manage, my remote team members.
Okay.
Yeah.
What has been something in this business that you found to be extremely easy for you? Something that you picked up quickly and was like, all right, I understand this part of it.
The thing I kind of picked up is it's not kind of weird. I actually enjoy the challenge of growing the business. I actually get joy and fulfillment out of it because it's kind of pushing. I kind of push myself, right? Like, where can I take this thing? I'm at the point now, we've shared the numbers, but to be honest, I'm kind of not even really satisfied, right? Obviously I want to get to a point where, if I want to, this could kind of, take my family to the next level as far as like, building financial freedom. But yeah, I would say that's the biggest thing. Like anytime there's a challenge, and I know you guys have gone through it, where like some days, like, you know, like I think one day we had everything go wrong. Like
what was that day?
The cleaner didn't show up, you know, or the customers are calling, they're complaining. And my thing is like, how do we solve this problem? And my biggest thing is, how do I train my team members to be able to solve the problem? Because like, mind you, I have a very demanding job, and part of the reason why I have my team members is like, guys, I really can't do nothing during the day. Like during lunch, like I could get back to you, but like for the most part, I need you guys to handle it. So I do spend a lot of time with them. I spend, you know, late nights, early mornings, weekends with my team, and you know, my wife will be like, "Why are you spending so much time with them?" Because I'm like, I need them to handle the day to day. So that's why the team member who left, she was critical. Like without her, we wouldn't have grown. And I push them. I have really tight, you know, metrics. Like this is what I need you to do. Like I'm very particular. But just the challenge of figuring this out on a day to day, it's like the thing. I want to say come easy. It has come easy, but like I've enjoyed that challenge, and it's made me kind of grow. I've actually taken skills that I've learned in the business, being a business owner, to my job, and I've taken skills I learned in my job that I do in my job, being a project manager, into the business. So it's kind of worked out both ways.
And speaking of time, I know a question people always ask. Do you remember, like, I mean, you're still kind of early in. It's not like it's been forever, but do you remember how much time you were spending in the business at the beginning versus the time you're spending now?
Yeah, it was you know, my wife will probably be like, you still probably spend too much time. But no, starting out, you know, late nights, looking for cleaners. One thing that I did, which I don't do anymore, is I would go on, you know, job boards. And like I'm just sharing what is working for me now. But I would go on job boards and post and send emails. I was like, I'm not gonna go to sleep till I send out.
You was obsessing over it? It sounded like you was obsessing over it a bit.
Yeah, no, because you know, Anthony would be like, what he say, like, well, you gotta send out 500 because only 2% are gonna get out of that number, you know, only 10, and then out of the 10, only one. So I'm like, well, I gotta get, you know, he said the numbers are numbers. So no, I was going crazy, but I'm really big on utilizing resources. So, you know, obviously, you know, I got my start with you guys, but then I just kind of found different resources and kind of looked at what they did. And at this point, I can kind of like when I talk about hiring, I can kind of turn on my hiring funnel. I could crank it up to 10, but when I need to slow it down because like the number of jobs I'm getting doesn't match the number of cleaners I need, I can do that. So I've really optimized that process. The biggest thing for me is like consistency, right? And if we stay on the journey long enough, and my thing is like, I'm going to grow 1% every day, every month, whatever. So where I am today is not going to be where I am a year from now, right? I'll be next year and I'll be like, I'll have next year problems. And then I'll think about what I thought about in 2023. And then it'll be like, why did I even think that was a problem? Because like, it won't be really anything because I would have known more. So that's kind of like what I'm excited about. Like, I really enjoy the journey of kind of being a business owner.
When you say like, why did I think about that? I know the first time you experience a bad review or the first time somebody doesn't show up to a job or one of those things, you're like going crazy about that. And now I'm like, call a client. Just let them know.
Yeah, no, that's real because you know, one thing I think, you know, was mentioned that you will get a bad review. And we pride ourselves on having great customer service. We recently just got over 100 Google business profile reviews.
Congratulations.
So, yeah, that was pretty big. And I would say the vast majority of them are 5-star. And like we have customers writing literal paragraphs about what we do. But we did get a 1 star, and like I felt like I had heart palpitations because I was like, what am I gonna do? And then like I was trying to call the customer, but they weren't trying to have it. But what I did is I just said, hey, like, you know, through the help of Chat GPT, I actually came up with a clever, you know, response, or not a clever response, but an adequate response to the concerns that the customer had. And they appreciated it. And you know, I was like, you know what, I'm aware of this bad review with as a badge of honor, and just you know, improve. And I take any feedback from customers, whether it's valid or not valid. I kind of poke at it to see, okay, what can we actually do better in the business? So that is what has allowed us to grow as a company.
Right. The feedback. Yeah, it happens.
So right now you're in month 15 of your business, and
no, well, when you spoke to us, he was in month 15.
No, I would say month 18 now.
18. So what's been your highest month so far in revenue over the past?
Yeah, highest month. And like it's weird because like I want it to be higher, but the highest month so far is 28,000.
28,000. Okay. And do you feel like you had the most challenges in that month? Do you feel like there's a ratio of your revenue growth to the challenges you face in your business?
No, because that month I had just, you know, bigger cleaning jobs than normal.
Okay.
I mean, I want to say over the last 6 to 8 months, I've been maintaining like 22 to 28 is the top.
Okay.
22 being the lowest. So it's been the same where I'm ready to get to like that 30, 40, 50 mark. And obviously, you know what Biggie say, more money, more problems. So I'm sure, you know, when I get to those numbers, I'll have different problems than the problems that, you know, I've had at this. But the biggest thing for me is actually scaling. You know, I kind of know how to deal. Like we have problem customers. We know, like we dealt with one today, but we know how to deal with it. Like my team kind of dealt with it. I was like, "Do you guys got it?" They're like, "We have it," and they handled it. So I'm like, you know, and that when I have moments like that where it's like my team can handle stuff without me, it's like the process of like training is worth it. Like I'll spend an hour with them early in the morning. But when they can handle a situation like that by themselves, it's worth it.
Do you feel like you had a challenge early on with letting go of some of the business?
No, because I needed to let go of the business because of my day job.
So it was easier for you earlier on.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, like there are certain aspects that I didn't let go of. Like I had super tight control over all communication with the cleaners. And I realized that wasn't sustainable. So at the beginning of the year, you know, my team member who no longer is with us, I actually taxed her. I said, hey, like I can't manage talking to the cleaners who are on their way to jobs during the day. So I need you to do it. So I worked with her. She was scared because she's like, you know, what am I supposed to do? But in the course of a month, she got used to it. And, you know, I always joke with her. I'm like, I think the cleaners like talking to you more than they like talking to me. So I'm like, I don't, you know, this like, you know, I'm not too concerned about that. But because she was actually really good. Like she was very, very good. I've lucked out across the board. I had her. She's no longer with us. I have two.
How'd you find her?
I use a service that did the sourcing. That did the sourcing for the talent, and they interviewed. I interviewed, and then it's up to me to do the training. And I've lucked out. Like I'm 3 for 3 when it comes to team members from this sourcing agency.
Okay.
Yeah.
And right now, some of the places that you are marketing, like where would you say that you market at?
Yeah. So Biggest one is Google local service ads is, if I'm being quite honest, like 95%. I'm trying to change that because that's not sustainable. So I've been reinvesting back into the business through SEO. I'm really focused on having people organically find our website, which is why the reviews that I've been trying to get has been big. I've been pushing the team, like, follow up, because obviously the more reviews, the more social proof, to use that term.
Yep.
So mainly Google local service ads. I did Thumbtack, I did Bark. Those are more push, like you need to go into those systems, and they're great starting out, but because of my time and just, for me, the conversion rate on that was low. I started to just focus more on, what was working. Google local service. I even tried Yelp for a bit. It didn't work for me. I'm not saying it doesn't work. It didn't work for me. I did Facebook ads that did work, but when I looked at the numbers, it was actually a low conversion rate and high spend. But the one that's been most consistent and giving us the most is the Google local service ads. And I have gotten some organic. It's not a lot, but my goal is a year from now that it's like at least 50-50 organic between kind of, other marketing methods.
Right.
So earlier in the conversation, you had mentioned with the cleaning business allowing you to do other things, whether that's real estate, investing. You mentioned investing. Were you doing those things before the cleaning business, or did that happen after you started the business?
No. So yeah, I've been on a journey of different business ventures, probably since my mid-20s. I'm in my late 30s now, but yeah. So the one that kind of stuck out of all that, like I tried Amazon storefront. I tried to start a career and resume writing resource because people said my resumes always look really well. So I was like, oh, I could turn this into a business.
A friend that's a business.
That's a business.
I've seen people doing it. I'm like, maybe if I stuck with it, where would I be? But I didn't stick it out. But yeah, but then, real estate, I really got interested in that because, one of the areas that where you can build wealth, which is, is proven out, 9 times out of 10 is real estate. I did wholesaling for a bit, but then I jumped into more ground up development. So I actually have a development company that I do with a couple of good friends. But that stuff is like long term. Like I won't see like, I mean, I may not even see like the wins from that, right? Like, my children will, but not me. But it's like, well, what can I do to bring, maybe not 20, 25 years out wealth, but maybe 5, 10, 15 years wealth. Like I said, I've been on this journey for a while, and this has been, out of all the different things I've tried where I saw immediate success. This was the first one where I was like, I actually turned this idea into something that generated revenue. So that was kind of the cool thing for me.
What was that feeling when you said that? Because I know for me, I talk about that all the time, is when you have an idea and you implement, and then you start to see the results of that idea. What was that feeling like for you when you said, all right, I got something here?
It was, I won't say it was surreal. It was just kind of like, well, this could actually work. That was a feeling, right? Because like I said, I tried all different things. And like the biggest thing with me is like, I wasn't consistent because like, I don't know, maybe I could have been where I wanted to be with those ventures, but for whatever reason, I wasn't consistent. So this one, I put the work in. I saw an actual dollar exchange from their hand to my hand. But that was kind of the light flipping on for me. So, and now, at this point, it's not a matter of like, can I do it? It's like, how big can I get this thing? Which is kind of like weird, because at first it was like, can this happen? But now I was like, well, how big can I get it?
How big can I make this thing?
Now I know it can happen. Where do I go from here?
We go through those stages all the time where, you start something, you have the idea, then it's like you said, you exchange that first dollar. Then it becomes consistent. So you're at that phase right now where it's pretty consistent. And now you're thinking about, okay, what does this look like a year from today? So speaking about a year from today, or even, next year, like what does that look like for you? Oh,
no, I was gonna say, yeah, when we spoke to you at InvestFest, you were speaking about the expansion of the cleaning business in different ways, which is another, before you get into it, another huge point, that you don't just have to stick to that thing. And I think Anthony has been saying that a lot recently. Like, everybody talks about these 7 streams of income, when it could just be from the one thing that you have and you just expand on it. So tell us a little bit about that. Like, where are you going with the business, with the cleaning business?
Yeah. So actually,
where's your wife going with it too? Because we got to hear about her. I'm sure she's in the background.
Yeah, she's definitely helping out. But no, so it's funny. I met you guys at InvestFest. So coming out of InvestFest, for those who were there, it was a great experience, right? Great networking, very inspirational. And I came out of there, I was like, yo, I got to put my foot on the gas. So
we all did.
Yeah.
So I think while I was still at InvestFest, I was like, I'm expanding our operation. So, I don't mind sharing this. Like, we're based in New Jersey, and I was in one part of New Jersey. Now I'm in another part of New Jersey, and the goal is by the end of next year is we will service all of New Jersey.
Why not? Exactly.
Yeah. So I went from just focusing on my kind of immediate, 3-4 county part of New Jersey, and now it's like, well, I expanded to a part of New Jersey that I would need 90 minutes to get there, and then the goal is to be all over the state by the end of the year. So by the end of next year, and then to your point about expansion. So, cleaning is one of many home services. There's, landscaping, there's, window washing. And luckily, speaking of my wife, she has a friend that has a talent in organizing and decluttering. So, she kind of has been watching the journey from afar, because, my wife, they work together. And my wife would kind of tell her all the trials and tribulations of kind of what's going on with the business. And we kind of came together where I would take the base business skills that I've learned: marketing, promoting, advertising, business operations, having remote team members, and marry it with her passion for doing what we call professional organizing. So, we officially launched a sister company that will do professional organizing. If you think about it, cleaning and organizing go hand in hand, right?
Yeah.
You got and it. We are solving a problem for people. People don't have time, right? And like even us, as busy working people with kids and families, even we get busy. So the cleaning goes hand in hand with the organizing. So we have a whole system set up. I'm kind of like, I'm setting up the back end, all that, and I'm learning more and more about that space. But as far as the actual delivery of those organizing services, she's going to do that. And it's going great. We're in the phase of, we're really finalizing our branding. We're going to be doing a big push, and we actually already earned some revenue from that sister business.
Let's go.
Last month. So
Congrats.
Because I have customers, right? I have customers, and they'll ask us, "Oh, do you guys organize?" So for the longest time, like, I actually created an upsell in the cleaning where I would have the cleaners do what I call basic organizing, where in order for the cleaners to do their cleaning accurately, I would say, okay, if you have clothes, because they would be like, Talani, there's clothes everywhere. I can't clean. So I was like, well, instead of saying we're not going to clean, how about you fold and put the stuff away so you can clean, and we'll charge the customer. So I have that as an upsell. And, you know, people have appreciated it. Like, it's pretty simple. The cleaners fold that stuff. And I limit it to the cleaners will do what they need to do to focus on the cleaning, but we don't do like color coordinating and putting and all that. That's the professional organizing, right? So with that, you know, that is a sister business, so it's kind of complementary. So yeah, we'll be advertising both, and we'll be pushing that while we push the cleaning. So really exciting stuff.
I was gonna say, yeah, because you need to organize before you clean. There's no, if you clean, if you're cleaning around that, it still looks like a mess. So absolutely, that makes sense. And congratulations on getting that started and not second guessing and doing it scared and figuring out as you go.
Now I'm trying to find the time. Now I'm trying to find the time to launch these different businesses.
I was gonna say that because you said you had development, and then you still have your 9 to 5. You're obviously a husband and a father. You have the cleaning business, the real estate. Where are you finding the time for that? Because we're gonna have some listeners that are like, I don't got the time for a cleaning business. I don't got time to do this.
Oh, he ain't as busy as I am, and I got a kid, and I'm a husband or a wife.
So where are you finding the time to balance?
Yeah, so I'll be quite honest. So like we all want balance, right? But like I'm unbalanced. You know, and I have to be real about that. Like I'll be completely honest. Like without the support of my amazing wife, I wouldn't be able to do, you know, what I do, right? She definitely has, you know, picked up the slack when you know, after I finish my day job, I start working. I'm reaching out to cleaners. You know, we have a young daughter who has a lot of activities. So she's, you know, doing a lot of, you know, running around, you know, taking care of her. And I really appreciate that. And, you know, understandably, you know, it's because we have a larger goal. But a lot of it is I'm doing stuff late at night. I'm doing stuff early in the morning. But, you know, right now I'm unbalanced, but the goal is to get this company to a point where I can be sitting back and the business is fully running without me. And I'm getting there, right?
You sound like you're there. You sound like you're almost there.
Yeah. And like for me, like I built the business from the beginning how I wanted and envisioned the business being in the future, because like, you know, I'll see other people, like I know there's some people who are full-time in the cleaning in their business. But I just don't have that because I have a day job. And, you know, I have the weekends. The weekends are where I'm able to kind of, you know, get that time, you know, with the family. But yeah, like right now I'm in a season of unbalance, and it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. So, you know, when I am living the life I want 5, 10, 15 years from now, I can look back on this time and be like, it was worth it.
Right.
It was worth it.
I like that, an unbalanced season. If you have the support of your loved ones, don't just do it independently.
Yeah, we ain't telling nobody just be unbalanced in your life. We're gonna take a quick commercial break. We got 90 people on this YouTube live. If you guys could like the video and subscribe to the channel, we would truly appreciate it. I'm gonna give Talani a little water break there because I know we've been asking a lot of questions.
Drilling.
Talani, I guess as we wrap up and go towards the Q&A section, you got a few minutes to answer some questions that are in the chat?
Yeah. I've realized that, you know, to your point, we all have our journeys and we all are at different points. And even though like, I don't think I'm doing a lot, like I could help somebody that wants to be where I am. And then like, I see you guys, like, I want to be where you guys are. So like, we all are different parts of the journey. So like, whatever I can do to help answer questions, I'm here to do that.
No, I appreciate that. And we spoke about where you want to go with this business. We actually spoke about where you are going with this business actively, because like I said, when we saw you at InvestFest, you were like, I'm ready to do this thing. And you already did it since then.
Well, first of all, I do want to say thank you. First of all, thank you for even coming up and telling us, because we speak about that all the time.
Truly appreciate it.
that sometimes people either they're intimidated or they're waiting for a certain number to come back and tell us anything, or they don't say anything at all, which is up to them. But we really appreciate you just sharing with us the impact of Clean and Business University and how you are taking it and changing your family's trajectory. So thank you for even mentioning it to us. First of all, I want to say that.
Yeah, of course. I saw. I'm like, am I going to just sit here and act like I don't see them? I'm like, I can't.
By that time we were like tired. We're just sitting on the side, just like
we were drained.
We were in the cut, just sitting there. But yeah, thank you so much for that.
Because you never know how that impacts. You never know how that impacts people. Let us know that both ways, right? Yes, you've taken the course. Yes, you've done great things, but allowing us to know that we're continuously impacting people, continuously helping them get to that next level. So appreciate you for sharing that and just coming through and saying what's up, honestly.
Of course, yeah. I'm glad I did.
Yeah. Appreciate
so we're gonna get to some questions that are in the chat.
We'll funnel it.
So we'll kind of, you answered a lot of the questions, but I did want to talk about the hiring process because we did spend some time talking about that. So can you give us a rundown as to what your hiring process looks like today? However you want to describe that.
Yeah, so the hiring process. So I got it down actually to kind of plug myself. I put like up a 5 or 6 step process. I'm relatively active on Twitter. I do plan to share a little bit more because people have asked me a lot of questions about it. But what I do is I do more of a pool method where I put out information on Indeed and Care, and I have people come to me, and then I actually kind of have a filtering system where I'm at the point where I can quickly look at something and see if they're valid. If it looks like they could be worth anything, I send them a link to the application to fill out, and the application is kind of like my super filtering opportunity, where if they go through these series of questions, it has actually scenarios like, oh, how do you clean this dirty oven? How do you clean this dirty windowsill? And then like based on that, I interview them and then I send them a link, and I have that process automated where I click a button and then they get automatic message to set up an interview. And then my interview process is actually super detailed. And the reason I'm sharing all this detail is because I don't do any on-site cleaning. Like I don't test out the cleaners. I make my process so tight from the interviews, and I follow up with references and it could be just I really know what I know when it comes to if a cleaner is good or not. I'm batting pretty well when it comes to cleaners who never did a test clean for me actually being like really good cleaners who provided value to our company.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the dad vlog asked if I can actually put the questions down here.
Cool.
Is full-time the goal, or are you building a nest egg for something bigger?
I know the dad vlog, so that's
he asked this question like 10 times.
I figured he knew who he was. I'm like, ain't no way he just keeps
asked the same question like 10 times. So
that's
I'm like, I'm sure you knew him.
Yeah, that's my guy. Yeah, so I would say the goal is full time, but obviously, like I shared, I have a very good job that pays me well. So until I can replace that, obviously I'll still be doing that. But the dream is to be able to say, hey, like I have this thing that is taking care of me and my family, and I can, fully own my time. That is the ultimate goal. But until I get to that point where, what I'm doing is replacing what I make from my job, this will kind of be something that will be supplementary.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. How are you paying your team members hourly day rate? This was if I'm not mistaken, this was in regards to the VAs that you have.
Your remote team members.
Yeah. So I pay them hourly. They get paid hourly. I do it via the sourcing agency. and they both are making, and this is after I've given them increases. They both are making $6 an hour.
Okay.
Okay, we have a lot of questions.
Are you mainly doing residential or commercial?
I'm doing both. So I'm mainly doing residential, and to share some good news, I actually just won a contract to do a larger apartment complex.
Congrats.
Yeah. So I think it's like multiple units. I want to say over 100 in that one, and there's another one. So we're doing our initial cleaning of one of those apartments, and it's for what we call apartment turnovers. List out. They want the entire place clean. So yeah, I'm doing both. I'm trying to actually do more small offices because residential is cool, but it's a lot of work, as I'm sure you guys know. What I've learned is, once you get into like an office space, those people in the place don't want to clean the office, so they just gonna hire a cleaning service, and they're gonna stay with you as long as you keep cleaning. Whereas residential, oh, this season, my budget, this is changing, that is changing. We did an office clean a couple weeks ago. She was happy because she was like, I don't gotta do this no more. Like, they don't pay me enough to clean this office.
Yeah, somebody, like you said, somebody's house is you're gonna be very particular, right? And like those commercial properties, they're like, yeah, we've been working with a company for 4 years and they can't clean well. So you kept them for 4 years and they can't clean well, but you hear that all the time. I guess they didn't have the energy to find somebody else. So yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah,
balancing both of them. You could go and see.
So this other question came in was, what's your nurturing process look like to turn leads into clients? Are you using any software that converts leads, funnels, clients, etc.?
Yeah, so leads. So the biggest nurturing process is how we handle them when we get them on the phone, right? That initial conversation is where you implement your script, essentially your sales script. I've learned that I quickly learned, probably in the first month or two, that this isn't just like a job, or this isn't just a business where you think people are going to book. You have to like nurture them, and nurturing is sales, and that requires having sales strategies. So that was the first step of me creating kind of SOPs. I do use specific software. So we have our booking software, Launch 27, which you guys promote in your course. As far as my CRM, I use a cleaning company specific CRM called CleanCore. It's a white label version of High Level. But that one is focused specifically for cleaning companies. So I use that to do automations where if we get a person where we generate a quote, we put them into a pipeline, and then they get an automatic text and email sequence over the course. And that actually has helped us convert quotes into booked appointments. But yeah, number one has been the sales process. Like, I never knew I was going to learn about sales and marketing, but
that's
like,
what business is.
Yeah, I had to learn about sales, like taking calls. How do you handle objections? Oh, let me talk to my husband. Let me talk to my wife. Well, before you get off the phone, would your wife be happy if we just go ahead and book you? Because I know you guys are pretty, like, you got to learn all the different things when it comes to that stuff. So yeah, that's what the process is like.
Okay. So we answered the commercial residential one already. So I guess this one was in regards to just your job demand. So before you hired a VA or remote team, what was that like with your day-to-day, since your job is so demanding? Who was doing that, answering the phones before you?
Yeah, so
excuse me.
Yeah, so I did do it. I will admit that.
Maybe we shouldn't admit that. You know what? You don't got to answer that. You don't got to answer that.
It's fine. In those moments, early on, I did do it. We were getting calls after I would clock out, so I would do it. Weekends, I would do it. But then I actually, hired a VA service, and it was you know, Ziggy VA at the time, and then, you know, I eventually moved over to having, you know, my own, you know, remote team members, you know, because I wanted to kind of grow, and I wanted to them to do more hours. You know, because I wanted, the biggest thing for me was kind of that weekend coverage. So that's kind of why at first I was supplementing with the VA service and an individual VA, and then I eventually moved to having my own kind of full staff, remote staff.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let me see. Was there anything else in here? He answered that already.
No. Do you have contractors doing your commercial jobs, or have you onboarded employees for the commercial jobs?
No, so yeah, I am fully subcontractor model.
Okay.
You know, that, you know, one thing that we didn't talk about is there will be a point where I need to determine, like, kind of how do I want this business to look. Everybody has kind of different goals. I know some people are doing all W-2 employees, some people are doing all subcontractors, some people are doing a mix of both. Um, I have realized that there's pros and cons to both, right? When you're getting into like the government contracting space, or like you want more bigger like apartment complexes, there does probably need to be some level of autonomy across the board when it comes to cleaners and uniforms and this. Um, I'm at the stages where I need to see how that looks. But yeah, I know it'll be different for some people's. But right now, it's all subcontractors.
Okay.
Okay.
And that makes sense. And that's something that we've discussed for years now. If we ever wanted to go the employee route,
We discussed at the beginning of January 2020, and luckily we didn't, because COVID said something different.
COVID would have took us out if we had employees.
Yes, it would
And
have.
we did $60,000 months during the pandemic. So we was like, we lucky we didn't go. But I totally understand where you get to that point where you want to, like, what's the next step for this business? Like, what does this look like for me? So completely understand, you know, that being an idea and thought as you move on to this next season. So let me see if there's anything else in here that I don't think there's any other questions. Was there anything else that you wanted to touch on that we haven't, that you feel like will be important to the conversation?
Or important for someone that maybe haven't taken the course, they're on the fence about it. What can you share with them?
Yeah, I would just, you know, just do it scared, right? You know, my tendency is to be a perfectionist, right? Like, I gotta have all my I's dotted, my T's crossed, and then I gotta check to make sure I dotted that I the right way and I crossed that T the right way. So I get it, right? Like, you know, I'm a project manager. I'm very analytical in nature, but one thing I've kind of been forced to become better at is to make quicker decisions and be decisive. So, you know, just go out there and do it, and you fix it as you go. Like, I didn't have the tightest hiring process for cleaners that I do now, right? Um, my first cleaners that I started with are no longer with me because I realized after 3 months that they were not the best cleaners. Like, they started off good, but then they tapered off. So that's why I had to really tighten down my process, and be willing to learn and grow. You know, one thing that I really enjoyed about this whole process is actually, like I said, I enjoy uh, the game of business, right? It's cleaning. You know, it's not sexy, it's not glamorous, but it's gonna do things, and it is doing things that I never would have imagined. So definitely want to shout you guys out for, you know, making it seem real, that it was possible. And now without that, like, the organizing business, and, you know, I even think that can be bigger. You know, I want to come in and disrupt that space because I think people do it a certain kind of way, and I'm like, well, you know, what kind of sauce can I put on that? But yeah, be willing to learn. Like, I have books that I read. Like, you know, I got some books next to me. The E-Myth is a really good book. I know you guys recommended this, you know, Profit First, And I think you guys have it in the back. I'm really big on Hormozy as well. $100 million league.
We got
that big ass book. You can't miss it. That's a marketing back here. That's a marketing tactic when he created that big ass book.
Yeah. But yeah, you just gotta be willing to learn and grow. And you know, I'm just excited about the future, what it can do, and the sky's the limit.
Yes. Thank you so much for coming on and dropping gems with us this late in the evening. Thank your wife for allowing it. I know it's probably cutting into some time. So yeah. Appreciate you. And sky's the limit. We always look forward to at some point, you know, interviewing our students we interviewed at some point and then seeing where they get to. So excited to see you scale and grow the business and all your other ventures. So thank you so much again.
Talani, 200K in 15 months. Shout outs to you, my brother.
Yes.
Congratulations on all your success. Congratulations on the new business. And I'm going to need a card from you because I got a lot of frat brothers in Jersey. So they always looking for cleaners. So I'll definitely throw you some business.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. We're gonna do a good job.
All right, Talani, take care. You have a good night. Everyone else on YouTube, appreciate you guys being here. Man.
Let's see. Is there anything else we want to add? But yes, thank you for joining. Thanks for tapping in. We're always looking for more stories, you know, from our students that are willing to share and wanting to share to show people what's possible, that you too can strive and change your family's trajectory the same way Talani is and many of our other students are. A lot of our students that are in our community are here today. So shout out to you guys for tuning in and tapping in and always providing value as well. Anything else you want to share? Subscribe to the channel.
Make sure you guys like and subscribe to the channel. Again, we do this to continue to create impact, right? The money is fantastic. When we started the cleaning business, we didn't know what this would turn into. It was just us sharing our story just like this, just like Talani did with you guys. So we want you guys to continue to go forward. We want you guys to continue to strive for whatever that next step is, whatever that next stage is for you guys.
If you don't know where to start, cleaningbusinessuniversity.com. That's where you will find additional information.
Find us.
That's where you will find the course. Yeah, have a good evening.
Like, subscribe, share.
Have a good one, guys. Take care. Everything okay?